So, for a long time, I've been told that the Djinn Headwrap is actually a really good item for PvP. And don't get me wrong, I see the merits of it. Reducing all non-CC negative effects by a huge amount, yeah, that seems crazy useful, so I had to give it a shot eventually. I put together a build using the Headwrap, and I'm running it alongside 2 Invigorated. When you have your Desert Sunrise on as well, you basically are sitting at 67% reduced duration for all negative effects that are not crowd control effects. So basically anything like disease, damage over time, that stuff's gonna peel off of us 2/3 faster than it normally would. So I've got some gameplay of the build. Of course, I've got a little bit of a breakdown of the build at the end of the video if you guys want to see it. I didn't put together a build or a written guide for this one simply because this build is changing quite a bit. I've already made quite a few changes to it since the time of this video, but I did really want to show you guys at least the merits of the Djinn Headwrap and how it looks in PvP and how it performs. And really quickly before we get started, send in those clips for the top 5, guys. I'm so close. I need one more clip from you guys to put together an episode. So if you have an awesome fight that you want to see featured in the top 5 fights, please send a link to it to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. Now let's see how this Headwrap holds up in the gameplay. So, in this fight here, we've got a few enemy players. It looks like they were chasing me down to the bottom, and I go for the burnout just to go through the one player that's kind of chasing me there and get on top of the other one. 3 enemy players on top of me now. One of them grabbed the strength thing. I turn around and I just feed them damage with the hatchet, and look at how fast all those negative effects that they threw on peel off. We know they've got Sundering stacks on because we could see the stacks just kind of building there, and they lasted all of like 1.5 2 seconds, and then they're gone. That is incredible. You know, if you think about the duration of some of these negative effects, some of them only last for 3 seconds, so they get brought down to a 1 second. Oh my god, that poor guy. They get brought down to a 1 second duration. So that means that the enemy is only really going to have the bonus up for like 1, maybe 2 hits if they're within melee range before that negative effect gets peeled off. So it makes a build like this incredibly resistant to things like disease, to things like weakness, all of that good stuff, and especially something like Fire Staff. This build does a good job shutting it down, and we'll just keep watching in the gameplay. Look, this guy put a couple stacks of disease on me. Within a few seconds, they are gone, and we just keep the pressure on him with the Fire Staff, and now he's got the healer up top, so that makes my job a lot harder, because the healer is, you know, throwing those heals down, and he's got that yeet hammer on him too. So if we go up to try to attack the healer, he's just going to try to send us flying. That's never any fun. More enemy players come into the fight. I just keep backing up into the corridor here, making sure that my back doesn't have enemies behind it. You never want to get jumped from behind if you can help it, especially when you're fighting multiple opponents. And then I just keep trying to get some damage in with the hatchet. We get really good damage with the hatchet there, almost bringing both of them down. And just like that, bam, their health shot right back up. Healer just, he's doing work there, that's for sure. I get caught in a bad spot with my stamina there, but we managed to get out with the burnout. And then as soon as he comes charging back in, I just go for the Incinerate, knowing that Greatsword doesn't have any big reach moves that don't, or that do have grit. Now, I get back up top on the stack here. We've got a friendly as well, and we try to throw some damage down, but that healer is not joking around. He's got quite a bit of healing power on him, and is going to be very tough for me to actually bring him down, because we have to burst him. Here we get hit by the yeet hammer, just go flying again. Oh my god, man. This is a nice trolley capture the flag healing build. I actually really like it. Anyway, here you can see we get hit by a few attacks. Again, keep an eye on the negative effects in my kind of effects tab above my health bar there. You can see that they just peel off really quickly. That one there lasts a little longer because it was a cripple, but look at that. Just like that, the exhaust is gone, and the cripple is the only one that lasts a little bit longer. It looks like that healer Warhammer build is just running the exhaust effect on their moves as well. It's a very good, honestly, build for something like Capture the Flag, just holding that point. And I just try to keep the pressure on here. There you see the Fire Staff player hits me, and we get a 3-second dot from the Fire Staff player. That is a huge cut in damage from a Fire Staff, because so much damage comes out of those damage over time attacks. And then I just blast the back end of the group with my Fire Staff here, and do my best to try to pick up a kill. We get on top of this guy here. He's very low health. A couple hatchet light attacks in. He goes down. I pop my ultimate just to heal up. We go back through with the burnout. I was anticipating more players to turn around and chase me there, and that's a big reason why I went for that burnout. That's okay. We get hit by the Fire Staff player there again. Look at how fast those dots, the bleeds, everything just peels off. Oh my god, man. I actually really like this Djinn Headwrap. And I'll be honest, in the new version of this build that I will share with you guys, I actually took the head wrap off and I replaced it with something else. But man, the head wrap is really good, and I think I'm going to start running it on especially melee-focused builds, things that have to take a few hits in order to get to their target, because I think they will benefit an immense amount from something like this. Anyway, moving on to the second clip that I have for you guys today. Again, we've got another capture the flag match, and we're just picking up a quick kill with the hatchet there on that guy. Just kind of out-stamming him with the hatchet, and then we jump on top of the musket player here. I hit him with the light attack, the fireball, and I go for the burnout, but I'm pretty sure I don't connect with it, and all of the dots end up peeling off of the gear too. So maybe this guy's running the Djinn Headwrap, who knows? Either way, I go on top, I try to hit him with the hatchet, get a bit of damage in. There's the fire staff heavy attack to finish him off. We land the fireball on the guy in the back, and we land a incinerate, and we get a crit. So I go for the heavy attack to proc the backdraft. We almost kill this guy with the backdraft. And then I just quickly am going to re-potion up and heal, and then turn around and just feed these guys the hatchet damage. Some friendlies end up coming up. So they mash that last poor guy down. And then a little bit of time goes by, and just keep on fighting in the back end here. I just kind of skipped over when all the friendlies came here, grabbed the flag, and then ran back to our side. And this enemy musket player actually gets a really good trap throw on me there, and I get stuck. But look at how fast those dots peel off. I pop my ultimate thinking that maybe I'd be in a bad spot there, but oh my god. We just managed to just tank it out easily and then get back on top with the fire staff. He goes for his flurry. I go for the incinerate. He does a good job dodging out of it. And then I just stay on top of him with the hatchet, trying to get as much damage as possible. He keeps throwing traps on the ground. And there he breaks the distance. And this guy's trap throw, man. He's got good placement. He's got good read on it. As I'm being aggressive with the hatchet, he throws it right where I'm about to step. So I end up stepping in another one. And again, we just kind of tank it out. The negative effects are not sticking to this build. We are just absolutely shirking off these dots. Look at this, man. Oh my god. The spear player managing to get very little damage over time into me as well. And look at the poison dot. We get 3 ticks of it. And then bam, it's gone. Those 2 players go down. 2 more enemy players come out. I throw the nice fireball on top of this guy. There we hit him with the incinerate, and just look. He actually gets a much longer, I think, a 6-second fire dot. So this guy's built a little bit more into damage over time than the average fire staff. And now here's a look at the build for you guys. Yeah, this is pretty much a strength build. I went 100 dex for the hatchet. Also, the fire staff benefits a little bit from the 100 dex, just percent damage wise. As for the hatchet tree, we've got a pretty standard berserker hatchet tree there. And then the fire staff tree, the really important thing I want to mention is that we have backdraft. If you're playing a strength fire staff build, your damage over time is very weak. So you definitely want backdraft to turn those dots into additional burst damage when you can. For the hatchet, I've got the Fire of Battle. Keen Berserk is pretty much the perk of choice. In the gameplay you saw, I actually had an opal as the gem, and now I've got the fire damage gem on because my new gear set actually has full fire damage on it. And I feel like the fire damage gem might be a better choice. I don't know. I know enemy players in PvP, they will build against slash and fire damage, so neither are great damage options. I'll test out both and see if the opal or the fire damage goes out better. But for this build, at least in the gameplay, you did see me use the opal. And Hasted Vigor, Shirking Heals, you gotta have Vital Synergy on the chest piece, and then 2 pieces of Invigorated, like you guys see in the gear, to go with the Djinn Headwrap, which I have not upgraded either. Oh my god. So this build was a little bit of a bunk build. It wasn't fully properly put together. I don't have all the Rune Glass gems. The gameplay, I didn't have any Rune Glass gems. This is just, I have made some changes to it since the gameplay. But anyway, there is a look at what I was running. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.